11 Alive News Midday starts now.
Well, first this Wednesday on Midday, there's an investigation into a police-involved shooting in College Park. What we know so far and why the GBI is now involved on the case.
Our showers have lowered. That's some good news there. And our temperatures will start to go up over the next couple of days. I'll have all the details for you coming up.
Park. We want to get to some major breaking news coming out of Savannah, or at least right near Savannah, where there is an active shooter, we understand, at Fort Stewart Hunter Army Airfield.
Good afternoon. We are interrupting your normal programming for some breaking news. We've learned of an active shooter situation at Fort Stewart. Now, that's according to Major Charles Egan, who says he can't confirm if there have been any casualties at this time. Part of the base is currently on lockdown. People who live on the base are being told to stay indoors. Now, WSAV has multiple crews on the way, and we will keep you updated as we learn more about the situation on air and online at WSAV.com.
Live from WTOC, the Southeast News Leader. The News at Noon starts now.
Thank you for joining us for the news at noon this afternoon. I'm Madeline Hunt. We begin with breaking news out of Fort Stewart. Law enforcement say that there is an active shooter on base. Fort Stewart now on lockdown. All gates going in and out of Fort Stewart are completely shut down right now. Law enforcement sources tell WTOC 4 people have been taken to the hospital and a suspect has been identified by authorities there.
WJCL 22 News begins with breaking news.
First at 5, we're staying on top of breaking news. Shots fired at Fort Stewart, 5 soldiers injured. Thank you so much for joining us at 5. I'm Brooke Butler. The shooter is now identified as Cornelius Radford. This is a booking photo from a DUI arrest in Liberty County earlier this year. We have team coverage on Fort Stewart and in Savannah, so you have all the latest information. Let's go first to WJCL 22 News' Tia Maggio, who is in front of Woodrow Gate. She attended a news conference just hours ago. Tia, what can you tell us?
Well, Brooke, we now know the identity of the suspect. As you mentioned, that's 28-year-old Sergeant Cornelius Radford. He is from Jacksonville, Florida. And as far as we know, according to General Lubis, he tells us he was actually never been deployed in combat. He has been assigned here to Fort Stewart since 2022.
Developing tonight, an attack on a Georgia military base. An Army sergeant is suspected of shooting 5 of his own service members.
It was heart-wrenching for me to see this happening on a U.S. military base.
New at 6, a local sheriff who spent time in the military is talking exclusively with Channel 2 Action News about the investigation and where it goes from here.
Live, local, late-breaking. This is Channel 2 Action News at 6 p.m. Coverage you can count on.
And tonight we're getting a look at a picture of the sergeant suspected of shooting 5 service members at Fort Stewart today. So glad you're watching Channel 2 Action News at 6. I'm George Estevez.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Linda Stouffer, thinking of those 5 military families tonight. Right now, investigators want to find out why today's attack happened. Here is the latest. Authorities have confirmed that 3 of the 5 injured soldiers needed surgery. The suspected shooter used his own handgun. And this afternoon, Brigadier General John Lubis said the primary focus right now is caring for those injured soldiers and, of course, their families.
To give you an idea, Fort Stewart is in Liberty County, so it's southwest of Savannah. You can see it here on the map we made. It's about 4 hours from the city of Atlanta.
Streaming on First Coast News Plus, this is First Coast News on your side. We begin with breaking news.
And that breaking news tonight at 7, 5 soldiers shot and a sergeant with a Florida connection is in custody after opening fire at Fort Stewart in Georgia. The person arrested for the shooting is Army Sergeant Cornelius Radford, who we're learning has ties to Jacksonville. Fort Stewart is located outside of Savannah. You can see exactly where that is on this map. This is about a 2-hour drive just north from Jacksonville. The lockdown on the base now lifted. We want to go to our Zach Wilcox tonight with the latest from military officials.
Every night at 6 and 11, WITN is where Eastern Carolina turns for what's happening now and what's happening next.
Tomorrow is a first alert weather.
WITN News at 6 and 11. You are why we first alert.
WTWO is celebrating 60 years, and we're hitting the road with Where's Walker?
Chief Meteorologist Jesse Walker is traveling the Wabash Valley, doing live shots and visiting local events across the valley. It's our way of saying thank you for making us part of your lives for 6 incredible decades. Come out to Marshall, Illinois, say hello, and celebrate with us. Where's Walker is brought to you by Dorset Automotive.
Good evening. Hamilton police have arrested a man in the shooting death of an innocent bystander, 21-year-old Harsimrat Randhawa. She was killed on the Hamilton Mountain in the spring, and police are vowing to catch at least 6 other people they say are involved.
And big news for the Montgomery television market from our parent company, Gray Media. Today, Gray announced plans to buy 10 TV stations from Byron Allen's Allen Media Group. The $171 million deal means Gray is buying WCOV-TV, the Montgomery Fox affiliate. Gray is also buying WAAY-TV in Huntsville as part of this deal. That purchase is expected to be complete by this fall.
WIFR's parent company, Gray Media, announces a major purchase agreement acquiring 10 television stations across the country, including the NBC affiliate in Rockford, WREX, from Allen Media Group. The deal is worth $171 million and brings Gray Media into 3 new markets, while expanding its presence in the other 7 by creating duopolies. Gray Media says the move will, quote, preserve and deepen public service to their communities with expanded local news, local weather, and local sports.
Tonight at 5, a Rockford news station is being sold as part of an over $170 million deal. Variety is reporting that Byron Allen Media is planning to sell WREX along with 9 other TV stations to Gray Media. Gray is the parent company of Rockford's WIFR News. In a news release, Gray says it hopes to create duopolies across multiple markets. The deal, which comes following major cuts made by Allen Media over the last year, is expected to close sometime later this year, subject to regulatory approval.
Tonight, the latest on the Anaconda shooter, 45-year-old Michael Brown, taken into custody this afternoon. We'll bring you the very latest from Deer Lodge County. The MTN 530 News starts now.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Well, good evening, and thanks for trusting MTN for your 530 News. I'm Tim McGonigal. Glad to have you with us tonight. We're looking live at the Deer Lodge County Courthouse in Anaconda exactly a week after a gunman killed 4 people in an Anaconda bar. That suspect, Michael Brown, has been captured, as we learned this afternoon and told you about right here on MTN. We are again waiting for Montana law enforcement officials to address the press and talk about today's capture and just this whole week in general.
Now at 6, Purdue University is ready to get you up in the sky. What travelers can expect when checking out the Amelia Earhart terminal. Also, how changes to 401k strategies by the Trump administration could affect your retirement plans.
Well, I hope everyone enjoyed this typical August day, although it was warmer than average. We do have a change in the forecast, pushing the rain back. You're going to want to know all the details and the timing coming up.
Live, local, late breaking. This is News 18 at 6.
Well, a very good evening to you this Friday. I'm Cody Milan. Thank you so much for joining us.
A fire in Clark County, Illinois leaves residents of an apartment complex without a home. You'll hear from firefighters who answered the call. And students in Vigo County just days away from starting a new school year. We'll tell you what law enforcement has to say about keeping students safe.
Looks like a very warm and humid weekend. Skies will be mainly clear, no rainfall. By noon, we're up to 85, but thunderstorms are in the forecast, just getting pushed back. Details coming up tonight.
Live, local, late breaking. This is News 10 First at 10.
Good evening, I'm John Swanner. Welcome to News 10 First at 10 here on My Fox 10. Well, some residents are displaced after an apartment complex fire in Marshall, Illinois.
Coverage you can count on. This is Way 31 News at 5.
The family of a teen who died in a car chase with Decatur police now suing the city and the department. I'm Way 31 reporter Julia Miller with the details.
A little heat, a little humidity, and a little rain. Pretty well sums up your weekend forecast. I'll have the latest details coming up next.
Plus, some ways to help your child take care of their mental health as they head back to school.
And the Alabama Department of Veterans Affairs is asking for your help to secure their next state cemetery. I'm Way 31 reporter Paige Meyer live with the details coming up.
Thanks for joining us for Way 31 News at 5. I'm Tori Dunnan. We start the newscast with breaking news. We've learned that Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia, is dealing with an active shooter situation.
Right now at 6, we're following an active shooter situation. This is a live look of the campus of Emory University in Georgia. New tonight at 6, we now know the suspected shooter is dead. We have a first look at the fugitives wanted out of Tennessee but captured in Emory, plus an update on where they are now.
And a few isolated, widely scattered showers and thunderstorms over portions of our area. We'll talk about that in a few moments.
Plus, 20 months marks 20 years since Hurricane Katrina made landfall, forever changing our coast. New at 6 tonight, a Mississippi senator is making moves to remember this anniversary. And later, STEM education's growing for several students in North Mississippi, a new partnership providing all of the tools and the resources that will further their education and show them all of their career opportunities available to them. WTVA 9 News at 6 starts now.
Live, local, late breaking. This is WTVA 9 News.
We're following an active shooter investigation in Georgia right now. New at 6, the suspected shooter is reportedly dead. We also know a police officer and a civilian were rushed to the hospital after they were shot.
We're at Emory University, radio. We're at Emory University.
Go, go, shooter, shooter. So everyone started running.
Getting their active shooter gear on.
Police are urging anyone who comes here to turn around.
Very active out here. DeKalb County Police, they are on scene.
My kids were in there and I was like, so I was freaking out and calling my husband and crying and bawling.
We heard the sirens going. You couldn't come in, you couldn't come out.
Officers arriving found a critically injured DeKalb County police officer. Officers could still hear gunfire. We later found the shooter on the second floor of the CPS. He had been struck by gunfire. He did pass at the scene.
It's with profound sadness that we announce the loss of the life of one of our very own DeKalb County police officers.
There is a wife without a husband. There are 3 children, one unborn without a father. Today is a very dark day in DeKalb County.
And tonight we have live Team 2 coverage of the active shooter investigation in DeKalb County. So glad you're here. I'm George Estevez.
Hello, I'm Wendy Corona. We begin with live pictures from Clifton Road, where more than 6 hours after an active shooter opened fire, police are at the scene.
Throughout the night, we've broken into programming to keep you ahead of the heart-wrenching developments since the first shots were fired.
So here now is the latest on all the new information we've gathered. A difficult update tonight. We learned a DeKalb County officer died in the shooting, and we received this picture of Officer David Rose in the last 15 minutes.